Hey, it's AAA, and welcome to a Weird Tiny Rogues episode where I'm going to be playing a run as the superhero with the Broken Hero Sword for a TikTok where I'm going to show off how you do the Broken Hero Sword. While I'm also going to read the patch notes for the most recent patch, because you guys wanted a patch note reading as mentioned on, I believe, Twitter and no, not Twitter, Discord. That's where I asked, and y'all wanted it, so here we are. The highlights from the 0.4.2 update are as follows. We got a rework to the shrine system. The shrines now come in cursed and normal varieties and give permanent stat upgrades. There are 20 options you presented with 3 at a time. The doppelgangers received a full rework. No longer are the days of your doppelganger changes. Your doppelganger changes right at the start of a run, with a mirror on the first room of each floor that you can use to change what class you are mimicking. I personally really enjoy it, and I think it's a good change. However, they are not all good changes, in my opinion. I do not like the change to blood altars. Blood altars no longer are you trade in one thing, you get 3 of the thing. That's not how it works anymore. Now, blood altars, you pay a heart, you choose one of, I think, 2 or 3 types of equipment, and then you get a random item of that equipment. Which just doesn't feel nearly as good. Oh, here's one of those shrines I was talking about. Increased attack speed, periodicals. A lot of the hero swords use periodicals, so I'm going to take the faster periodicals. And I will take a flask refill. So those are the highlights. Oh, also, the spellbooks have been changed. Spellbooks now place little turrets down. All of them do. So they're very good intelligent secondary weapons. Where you can set it and forget it. Not truly set it and forget it, because you do have to, refresh it every so often. But they're now more secondary weapons than primaries, and I really like that idea. Most of my favorite spellbooks were in that category anyways, and now it is nice to see other books that were not getting the same amount of love in that bracket. I'm recording this... Oh, that was a terrible decision. I am trying to use the Broken Hero Sword to fight. Cursed rewards have also been reworked. Cursed rewards now always give their best possible tier, and, unlike previously, cursed rewards can now be re-rolled away with a red dice, which has made red dice even better than before. This is good, but we're obviously taking Photon Barrier because we are an intelligent player of this game. Down we go. Some legendary equipment has also gotten more fun to it. The Balrog Heart now gives increased burn damage per heart container. The Demon Shell now gives dark damage, scaling with armor. And the Illusionist Cloak that previously gave evades now gives evades, and your evades count towards the count of soul hearts for things that track soul hearts, like the Soul Lantern and the Power Hungry perk. That's the one. This update also came with 3 new achievements, as well as a rework to Where Is My Mind, since, Doppelganger doesn't work the same anymore. There's no longer a, beat it with every doppelganger. It's different now. At least worded differently, if I recall correctly. Give me a weapon to use for now. Happy laser gun. Honestly, give me runic sword. We're a sword run. We should use swords. Give me the dex. Other things that have changed. I have to scroll now. Evade. The cooldown is now displayed in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. It's actually technically where my dude is, which is annoying. Sorry about that. But it probably won't come up on this run. Also, Obsidian Dice can now be used on Trait Tomes and Obsidian Dice? No. Can now be used out of Obsidian Dice. You can cancel them, and you can cancel Trait Tomes. I have to decide one of these. I want to go super rich, because we are doing a Broken Hero Sword run. We have infinite money. We're Batman, basically. Other notable changes, you can now eat consumables off of the floor, which is neat. That means you don't have to do inventory swapping to get what you want. Give me an enchantment on this. Snipers. Increase crit chance. Cool. I don't need any of that, or that, or that. Yeah, we can go to the shop. I don't want to do explosives. Crushing hit chance with explosive damage. You have infinite bombs. I'm not doing a bomb run. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just not feeling bomby today. There have been some other major general changes listed in the patch notes. Sorry, I knew this would be kind of a challenge, playing and reading the patch notes at the same time, but I wanted the challenge. And I don't think I'll miss anything either. The music for World 1 Floor 1 Pit and World 1 Floor 6 Reef have been changed. They now have original soundtracks composed by Miguel Angel. Which is very cool. I don't think we heard either of... I don't think we had that first one. We have a chance of hearing that second one later. As mentioned, if a door is cursed, it is always upgraded. It does not mean that cursed doors are always upgraded, but not all upgrade doors are cursed. All cursed doors are upgraded. I hope I said that in a non-confusing way. I also mentioned the red dice thing. I should have just skipped right down to the general patch notes, because the highlights reiterate things that are actually on these patch notes already. Let's see. Cursed hits and lucky hits aren't mutually exclusive anymore. They can now happen together, which I think is a good change. Because there were some weird... I had a weird run like that, where I should have been getting lucky cursed hits at the same time. They should have been lucky cursed crit hits. But instead, they just kind of didn't... They would alternate in an inconsistent fashion. That has now been changed. Cursed hits now roll damage twice and take the lower roll, instead of requiring succeeding critical hit rolls twice for a critical hit outcome. Which means the cursed hits are more deadly, basically. Give me the equip load. High equip load early is great. Lucky hits now roll damage twice and take the higher roll instead of rolling twice for a successful critical hit. Meaning lucky hits are even better. Which, considering, you know, cursed hits got better, or cursed got worse, it makes sense that lucky got better. But it's very hard to increase your luck. It's not very hard to increase your curse, so I'm still not super sure how I feel about that. We will see. I'm going to open this. Terrible weapon. I'm not going to go in the backup armory. I accidentally closed the tab on my phone. Minimum damage rolls can now exceed 100%. If it exceeds 100%, then it becomes the new top-end damage, and the normal top-end damage becomes the low-end damage. There's an example there, but it has a lot of numbers, so I'll wait to read it until this room is done. I figured we were in the TikTok generation, I needed to do something entertaining alongside me reading the patch notes, because I feel like most people don't care. But for the ones that do, here I am talking about it. For example, at 130% minimum damage roll, your damage now rolls between top end and top end extrapolated to 130%. Basically, there were things before that could increase your minimum damage roll above maximum. There is now a mechanical way for that to work. I don't have any reason to do a pawn shop. I'm Batman, I own the world. Batman doesn't own the world, but, you know. I'm Reach. It'll make doing the Broken Hero Sword quest really easy. I'm gonna hold on to that. Fear debuffs now grant 100% minimum damage roll instead of 50%, which makes fear better, which is good, because the emotion buffs have always been kind of bad. Well, emotion buffs and debuffs have always been kind of bad. Also, we will be seeing less of them, though, with the change to the Bard, which we'll get to later. The Horror debuff now grants 200% minimum damage roll. Previously, it was 75%. Hello. Yeah. I get some good, but I get a wart. Hello. +1 weapon upgrade. Let's go start upgrading the Broken Hero Sword. Need to have the Mithril. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. There's also a new sound ailment called Echo, similar to Judgment, Doom, and Frostbite. Upon reaching stacks, it consumes the stacks to deal damage. I'm going to keep it at... That's fine. I don't know what'll happen. I think if I take it on and back off, it'll become the Broken Hero Sword of the type, which is it's a neat way to do that. Set item, give me an accessory option. Here's some minor general changes. Base aura size has been increased by half a unit, which is not a huge deal, but it is a thing. The tooltip which describes impact gloves, what impact gloves have on your unarmed attacks, now only shows up when you're unarmed instead of showing up all the time. Because previously it would just kind of show up on the sidebar. It could confuse people into thinking the gloves did things other than what they did. So that is a nice bit of clarification. I know I was thrown off once or twice. I think it was the laser. There's like one that makes your unarmed strike shoot lasers. I got confused. I thought it would make my normal strike shoot lasers, because the way it displayed the damage numbers. With the unarmed strikes, I misunderstood. Diminishing returns of power have been slightly lessened, so it's not much of a hard cutoff. Effects that recover stamina now indicate that with a sound effect, as well as a text pop-up, which is cool. Give me the dex. What's this one? Death Defy? No, Death Defy is better. Now the class changes, starting with the Doppelganger. The Doppelganger now, at the start of the floor, gets an option of any... What's my good? My good's 3. There we go. I'm high enough now to get to the end. I don't need to, but I can. There are 16 forms. The Doppelganger's stats have also been changed to reflect the nerfed state that the Doppelganger is now in. Because there's no doubt about it, Doppelganger is technically worse than it was. Unless you're talking about the new, very good Doppelbard. But other than that, it is basically worse across the board. Which I think is good, because if you were just wanting to win, there was no reason to ever not play Doppelganger if you just wanted the best streak. It was kind of like an inverse Eden, where it should have been like an Eden, but it wasn't. Which we now have an Eden type in the form of Chaos. Not sure how I feel about this monk change yet. I think it'll be okay, but I'm a little... Monk needs a better change, in my opinion, in order for any of this to feel substantial. But now only consumes key charges if you hit an enemy with a primary weapon attack. I got cursed. Can't believe I actually got cursed. Yeah, I got cursed. That's unfortunate. With a primary attack shortly after dashing. It previously consumed them on dash. This is to prevent you from wasting your... I was looking at the wrong screen. I'm going to do much worse on this run, because I'm basically not looking at my screen most of the time. That's okay. That's why we're on Cinder 0. Heat Flex, sure. Also, we have this awesome Photon Barrier, which will help keep us alive. I still think Monk is terrible. Like, it's a novelty class, it's all built around unarmed strikes, but none of it's actually good enough. I used my belt. I now believe, okay, so we have Heat Flex, we have the Hero Sword. Boom. It is now an Inferno Bringer. Which is, yeah, this is one of the periodical ones. I don't have a key for that. I don't know why I thought I did. Quick and solid. Give me a shop. I'm still buying it. Screw you. Increase the price. I don't mind. Plus 75 load. Might as well buy it. Give me a level up. The hero, the hero has also been changed. I was going to read the deprived, but I decided I'm going to do the hero next because I'm playing as the superhero. The hero is no longer tied to the alignment system. It now is luck increases. Since it was I agree with the dev on this one that it was weird. Someone just screamed in the house. That, like, the first character you get throws the alignment stuff at you immediately. Did I? Okay, you know, I did do the right thing. Cool. Give me body armor. The Deprived now gets 10% increased stats from Strength, Dex, and Intellect per curse, since the Deprived's previous effect has been added to curses as a whole. Previously, Deprived curse rooms were always upgraded, but that's now a feature across the board, so Deprived got changed. I think this will make for a better Deprived overall. Warrior has been reverted. It now grants 10% increased attack speed per heart container. Previously, 10% attack speed per weapon upgrade level. I don't even have a companion. I'll take intelligence. We're kind of doing an int sword kind of deal here. Since it's S across the board, I might as well, right? The soldier has been nerfed. The ability now only works on two-handed weapons again. I think this is not a good change, because soldier was already not one people were playing much. At least I didn't see much or hear much soldier discourse. He's still just okay. Like, he wasn't even great. I think it should be reverted because it made it more fun instead of forcing you into two-handed weapons. Though what I would prefer even more than that, honestly, is I would prefer if it got reverted to the soldier's old ability, where it was inverse power based on rarity of the weapon. So that way worse weapons did better. As you may know from my video about the winged bow, I really enjoy the worse weapons. Some of them are really mechanically fun, but they just aren't. You shouldn't take them. Like, there's almost no reason in Tiny Rogues to keep a lower tier weapon. You should always go for an epic or a legendary every run, which I don't think is good. The Old Bard has been completely scrapped. I really enjoyed Old Bard. I don't think New Bard's bad. I think New Bard's interesting. I'm just not sure I like it. I will read it after I kill this mimic. There we go. The periodical tick one is great. Boop. Elemental damage is also fine. It's not better than any of those, though. Magic weapon, we need one. Now, the Bard scales repeat damage twice with the intelligence and dexterity scaling of their weapon. So encourages you to do repeats on your weapons. The synergizes with the new sound thing, Echo. So now more sound weapons now benefit from repeats that they didn't previously to work with that change. There's also a new accessory called Lilith's Legacy, which I have not seen yet. Maybe we'll see it. I was just talking about you. Hi there. We'll probably actually take that. Yeah, we'll take it. Nope. There we go. The white robe now doubles the effect of shrine blessings, previously made them permanent. That actually sounds really good. I want to try that. Chance ring, the attunement requirement has been increased from 4 to 5. Which, if I recall... That's my harp. I got so confused! The Elven Boots, they now are a 3 attunement instead of a 2 attunement. But they've been basically completely... Oh, it's a curse. That's what it was. Still getting used to the new sound effects. Hello. See, it doesn't work on... I don't think this is channeling. Fixed companion sign. It's better than the balloon hammer. I can do this like this and swap these out. We'll do that. The Elven Boots now grant 20% increased movement speed while now having taken damage for at least 5 rooms. Previously was linked to shrine effects. Shrine effects are gone, at least in the way they previously existed. So a change was needed on that one. I'm still not sure if they're any good, but it is a thing. The Elven gloves have been changed to correspond. I need to figure this out for a second. Oh, I can use the new thing. Shift E. Consume. Consume. The Elven Boots now give increased attack speed while not having taken damage. And the Elven Set bonus now makes evades refresh after completing one combat encounter without taking damage or evading instead of 5. Which is... obviously, that is absolutely amazing. Does my ability work in this shop? I don't think so. I'll take everything anyway. Their Hero Cape now gives 10% increased damage per point of luck you have, up to 30. It's been substantially nerfed, if I recall correctly, which is fine. Turtle Armor now is now plus 10 heavier. I think I'm still have mixed feelings on the load system. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the load system. I think it's a good... I don't think it's a bad solution to the problem, but I think it just makes non-strength stuff worse. Not terrible, but worse. The stuff that synergizes against it should be better. 4 seconds of invincibility after taking damage, adds invincibility duration after taking damage duration of status effects. That's pretty good. I guess I could take Pain Loop. It's better than... it's better than Armor. Hand of Blood now makes percentage modifiers to attack speed also affect bleed tick rate, which is a good buff. +1 flask, +1 armor, plus load. I should take a pet, so I'll take this. And I can't afford either of these after that. I just wanted a pet. Hand of Poison is Hand of Poison now used to be called Hand of Acid. It does the same thing, but with poison tick rate. I thought this would be so much easier to read the patch notes and play at the same time. I was very wrong. Hidden Blade, the damage is reduced by 15%, and the projectile speed has been, the range has been reduced because of that. None of these help me. These suck. I don't think Spell Echo works. Give me Dominance, I suppose. I really want something like Spellblade on this run. But that is okay. My phone has gone to sleep again. Cobalt Shield is now lighter and rare, but was previously epic, which I think is a good change, because the Cobalt Shield is fun, and I would like to see it more often, and it honestly was not good enough to be an epic, I do agree. Because there are so many amazing shields in that pool, it just felt out of place. You might be like, Trip, you don't know the Cobalt Shield. Yeah, I know the Cobalt Shield. You see how many hours I put in this game? I know almost every weapon, armor, item off the top of my head, and I hate it. I hate it. I even know the Cobalt Shield's a reference to Terraria. There's too much in my brain from this game. And I think I like it. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I know I like the game. I don't know how I feel about the amount of information in my brain about it. The Dragon Scale shield has been fixed. It didn't actually work previously. It now gives melee damage, though, instead of specifically boss melee damage. I have to pick you up and move you so I can fish. The Flame Shield, the threshold for nearby has been increased from 5 units to 15 units. It's also lighter. The Gladiator Shield not only is 1 block, but added -1 to global tally threshold and is lighter. Stop giving me silverware. I don't want your silverware. The Demon, I mentioned the Belrog, I mentioned the Demon Shell and the Illusionary Cloak. The Mithril Coat now only grants 1 armor, but now has additional effect which refreshes your death defies every room. Oh, here's the stuff for Lilith's Legacy. Gives a different effect depending on the day of that you're playing on. On Sunday, it does nothing. I love that. It is a legendary item. Though I feel like getting a legendary item on a Sunday that does nothing would also be a bummer. But it's novel enough that I think it's fine. Increase aura radius, trigger damage. Give me non-crit damage. Weapon damage scaling has been quote, widened a bit. Which, he goes into a lot of detail about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think most people would even notice. So I'm not going to try too hard to go into all the specifics. But basically, damage is calculated slightly differently now. That's the gist. Honestly, buy another one of these. There's now a new leveling scaling cap. At 10 plus level times 5 points of investment, 1 attribute, every point will only increase damage by half of what it did before. So you do have a maximum where you start to fall off. Burning so it does fire on every hit might be the best, but I kind of want to just go for, like, a good one, because how often do I get to infinitely reroll, right? There's also now a list of the... Come on. Merciless. Nah, I'm not doing enough crits. Divine. Nah. Twinkling. +1 upgrade level. Love it. Here are the list of all the totems that have... I'm gonna just buy a bunch of bombs while I talk. Here are all the totems that have been changed. The Arcane Torrent Tome, the Banshee Tome, the Bombardment Tome, the Consecration Tome, Ex Mortis, the Fiend Commander Codex, the Firebomb Codex, the Icicle Tome, the Knife Summon Tome, previously called the Blade Summon Tome, the Shadow Grasp Tome, the Spider Summon Tome, and the Volcanic Codex. All attacks from weapons that deal sound damage have been nerfed due to the change because Echo's real good. According to him. I don't know how good it is, but now we know. Elven Bow now takes 10% more attack speed per evade you have. Previously was Shrine affected, and it doesn't drain mana anymore, which is interesting. Increase the maximum range of all Bible and Flail Spinners by a unit. The Unholy Bible base damage, I'm gonna 60 bombs is enough, I think. Reroll one more time in case I want anything else. The Unholy Bible, the base damage has been reduced, but now spins 3 Bibles instead of 2. Wait, no, let me cure my curse over here. I'll drop this to buy another one. I'll refresh this one more time. The Eldritch Bible now has been increased by 15%, which does actually surprise me because that's a very good weapon already. The Doomerang. Base damage has been increased by 25% and has been made faster by half an attack per second. What do you sell? Bottle of mead. Mead. Neat. Never actually had mead in this game. I'm just gonna keep with Twinkling, I guess. And we roll this again while I keep talking. Death Sickles, the base damage has been increased by 10%, and now gains critical hit chance faster, 2.5% instead of 1%. Alright, I'm ready to leave this room. I could keep re-rolling to get a bunch of keys and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. I've had my fun. The Niang Cannon has had a 15% base damage increase, which, yeah, that's fair. It's always been terrible. Maybe not always been terrible, but it's way worse than the other things in its tier. Like many of the things we talked about today, actually. Give me a set. The Candy Scroll Sugar Rush buff now only goes up to 5 stacks, but now instead of granting full stacks on picking up a Mana Star, grants 1 stack of Sugar Rush on attack. Which I don't think is a huge change, but the fact that you now get half the effect, essentially, is pretty substantial. The Golden Chakrams have had their base damage reduced by 10%. The Crimson Staff has also had its base damage reduced by 20%. SMGs, their base damage was increased by 10%. Let's see what's here real quick. Solid shield, but not as good as what I've got. Should probably take Armor of Favor. I've got the load for it, right? Yeah, I do. Cool. The railgun has had both the primary and secondary damage reduced by 10%. The fractal glaive base damage from the main projectile has been reduced by 30. The beam width and duration has also been reduced to make it less painful in the eyes, which I'm very grateful for. Because that is a weapon I've complained about being fun, but hard to look at the screen when I'm using. Marks, movement speed, faster tick rate. The Twin Daggers has a new effect. It has a double critical hit chance. Previously made lucky hits roll one more time. I should have done the dragon chest. It could have given me like an amazing magic weapon for my other slot. The Imp Dagger critical damage has been increased to 100%, up from 75% per evil. I'm going to pay a little attention in this room, and then read a thing. Let's go to the shop. We are doing goodness and love. Forgive me. On dash gain Tiny Dancer? I love it! The ballet shoes. Is this new? I gotta check. Trait changes, interchanges, fixes. No! Apparently this isn't new. I've just never seen it before. I love it. Also, now that I scrolled, I gotta go back to where I was. There we go. I don't need that. I could make use of that, but I prefer my shield. Alright. We're gonna go grab a set item. The Hunting Dagger now gains 100% critical hit chance when triggering a mark and doesn't inflict bleed anymore. That's good, because the bleed stuff was kind of crap. On it, at least. Because, like, there are several later game things that trigger bleed. Also, it was a dex thing that triggered bleed. It was weird. I mentioned the Imp Dagger one. Mail Breaker now inflicts all stack of armor break at once, which doesn't sound like it's a huge deal, but it is helpful at cutting through armor. Here it is. Yay. That's cool. I've not really seen that one before. I would typically take that, but I'm taking a shrine. The Ninja Dagger critical hit damage from dexterity has been doubled. From 2.5% per dex to 5% per dex, so it scales faster. The Soul Thief Dagger now gains 10% critical hit chance per soul instead of 5%. So a lot of improvements across the board in that regard. The Twin Karambits now gain swiftness on a crit instead of on kill. I really like that change because I enjoy the Karambits. But I found the on kill to be kind of a unfortunately limiting factor for their viability. The Cross Glaive base damage has been reduced by 30, Ivy Staff reduced by, Scroll reduced by 30, Piranha Gun reduced by 15, Bone Force reduced by 15, Seraphim reduced by 10, Phantasm reduced by 10, and the Saxophone has a new effect, has double lucky hit chance, previously guaranteed lucky hits against targets affected by an emotion debuff, which didn't work. I feel like I remember it not working and being annoyed that it not working at one point. Flick Corruption to all enemies in the room. Permanently increases damage taken by 1% per stack. Stacks up to 100. Okay, I think we do take off the war boots. Take Conjurer Talisman? I don't know. Just felt right. There we go. Have some calcium. Pocket, and we're basically at the end here. Trait changes. Pocket Magic now specifies it does not work with weapons that summon totems. So you cannot have it freely place totems for you without any effort on your end. Polarity Shift, the Cyborg trait, has been changed. It now works more similarly to the Paw Gloves, which I'll read what that means in a second. instead of reversing what a lucky hit is to a cursed hit, vice versa, it now makes it so lucky hits are also cursed, and vice versa. We're going to take this freaking epic weaponry. We're probably going to take that. Yeah, we're taking this. Sorry, Toad Scroll, but, feels like a good choice. Tempest Kick now happens on the tally of 10 melee hits. Now recovers 1 stamina point instead of triggering your on-dash effects. I'm honestly going to come in here just because my inventory's full of crap that I've not been wanting to set down. Grab the light, I get a revive and a luck. Thanks. Alacrity has now had its description reworded, which is good. We'll check in this tavern. I'll buy it from Santa. I don't want to spend forever in here. Though I definitely could spend forever in here. Just don't feel like it. Swagger now only triggers on-dash effects on the tally of 10 primary attacks. The guaranteed critical hit is still on the tally of 5 attacks, though. So it's been nerfed a little bit, but not really in a way you'd notice. Hunter's Patience has been made much better. It now applies 20 stacks instead of 10. And Dominance now only grants 2% increased effective buffs and auras instead of 2.5 per intelligence. Which I think is a fine buff. It was a fine nerf. It was already pretty... It was pretty good already. Give me a better summon. Gorgons have been slightly recolored. The Commander Walrus shoots a lot less projectiles, but has more health and armor. The Vermin King trash bag mortars explode into less projectiles, and the flames released have had their range reduced, but has also had a 10% increase to health and armor to compensate for this less DPS. There is also a single-sighter change in the form of Cascading Pain. Now makes Curse 50% more likely to take effect. Previously, it increased the chance for Curse rewards to appear. I like the old version better, but that's okay. Because it was previously like a fun thing instead of just a harder thing. I like my things to be fun, as well as hard. Give me a golden dice. Meta per changes. Left to Fate now makes Curse 20% less likely to downgrade room rewards instead of 25. And Personal Agency now makes Curse 30% less likely to seal room rewards, previously 50. And we're going to be taking this, I think. Or I could use Snail and it will just rain fire all the time. Yeah, it's just going to rain fire all the time. And that's it. The rest are just bug fixes, which I'm not going to go through and read. How long did that take me? 38 minutes. We're on the 10th floor. And I read all the things. I've read all the patch notes. I'm not really counting this for the streak. I mean, it'll technically increase the streak. We're going good ending, which I think we've already... I assume we've already done as hero. Let's go see superhero. We haven't. So we could actually do it. This is episode 146 of Tiny Rogues, which is also wild. I mean, it wasn't gonna be... Yeah, let's do it. Let's try and do it. Let's try and try... Ooh. Let's try and try hard our way through the end of this run. I need healing. Ah, this works too. Basically just attack, let the periodicals fall. And don't do that, was what losing my revive already is a problem. So I hope you enjoyed that something different. I had fun reading it. But here's the change swagger. Do I want more stacks of burn? But they deal less damage? I don't know if this is better or not. 50% of fire infliction damage. It's... Sure. Why not? Let's roll. I'm at XP max. I guess I should definitely roll for some health. The game says, screw you and your health. I'm gonna get some alcohol. Maybe I'll drink myself silly in the bar. Or the tavern, sorry. Whoops. I don't have any reason to buy this, do I? Oh, I can hold on to it. Twinkling's as good as I'm gonna get, I think. Hey, a flask. So yeah, we just keep swinging, bombs keep falling, it's all good. There we go. We're unfortunately just under the soul amount to be able to gain a favor, but we have full recover. Yeah, pair of gloves, we're still using a terrible pair. I haven't noticed, is our... Yeah, it's not doing anything. That's probably my bad. I probably misread the description of the weapon and just picked it up. Like, oh, an epic, and didn't think about it any more than that. No, it should be working. Ailment, per infusion you have, melee critical hit chance. These all suck. Do I want this? I mean, it's technically an improvement. It's not that much. Do 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 do. We technically win the run. High heavens. So that's episode 146, Superhero. You're on a win streak of 12. Cinder streak of 41, because I'm on Cinder 0. Give me this. Yeah, now I'm just going to kind of talk about my general thoughts about the update. I think almost all of the changes are good. The only change I don't like is the change to Blood Altars. I loved the risk-reward of the Blood Altars before. And now they're just not... They're not even really good. So, like, not only are they not really worth the risk, there's not much reward to them either, because it's just a random piece of loot. Sure, you get to choose a type of loot, but it's not out of, like, every option. It's not like, what kind of loot do you seek for your heart? Gamble it. It's more like, hey, here's an option, something you can do. It's not good, but you can do it. We should take that weapon. And we should... Precise. Oh, it's a channeling weapon! I didn't realize it was channeling. That's why I wasn't proccing. This one isn't, so we should be good. Oh, we do have another one of these. What did we get? Precise? Oh, it's souls, that's right. Give me resin. There we go, you can see the coldness launching from me. My finger is itching. But yeah, I don't like that change. I like basically all the other ones. I like curse shrines being back in this new form. I like the change to shrines, because previously they were really bad. Like, laughably bad. They're basically only worth bombing to get an XP shard. Give me a legendary item. Oh, Bahamut, you are destroyed? Bye, Bahu. Bahu Wahoo. Literally only alive because you hid. Cowardice is not becoming of a dragon. Summon Storm is really good. I'm surprised there's not a legendary weapon that can conjure Summon Storms rarely. Armor favors just slightly better. Nah. This one's cool, at least. I'm gonna have to play with the bar change to see how I like it. In concept, I'm not a fan. I really enjoyed the spellbook gimmick. But it was just that. It was a gimmick. So I understand why it's no longer present. I like the doppelganger change, as I mentioned before. It also does something I'm happy for, which is increases... It gives more reason to play Chaos as kind of like your streaking character. I can do this at the end of the run, right? You can cancel these now, which is nice. I think it's better than Fire and Blood. Alright, of course you can cancel those now. I literally talked about that in the patch notes just now. Like, minutes ago. Give me a key. I'm not too picky. This is the Cinder Zero. We're probably going right to the W. I'm really looking forward to the new update, the new expansion, because again, even though I'm doing the 1000% thing, I am running out of content again in the game, which is wild to think of. But, I just really love this game, and I want to keep playing it, you know? Balatro has kind of become one of those games as well, where I've done basically everything there is to do, at least everything that I care to do. There's definitely a lot to do left. There's just not a lot I enjoy. Give me a Curse Blessing, why not? It's the end of the run. Boss reward, burn duration, power. Yeah, give me more burn duration. That's useful for this run. I know Balatro modded is going to be a hit. Whoops. I know the new patch is going to be good. There's a lot to be excited for Balatro. And I really love Tiny Rogues, and I plan to keep playing Tiny Rogues until I've run out of Tiny Rogues. It's... To compare it to our friend Olanky, Tiny Rogues is like my Isaac. It was my first proper foray into the roguelike space, and I freaking loved it. And it got its claw on me. I guess I got my claw on it too. And I love it. It's a great game. I'm happy that I enjoyed it as much as I do, and I play as much as I do. As we have just reached a godhood streak of 1. Woo. Because we didn't reach God with the last episode. I believe the current info is right, though the Cinder streak is PB of 41, not 38. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here, since this is just, woo, yippies! You might see part of this footage again, for when I make the little TikTok and YouTube short on how to get the Broken Hero sword. Bye-bye.
Hello, what's happening? It's that man in black and green. Sometimes sweet and saccharine. Sometimes he be as mad as me. Insanity, persistently